For 26 years, with 33 books, best-selling author Stephen King has been scaring the daylights out of readers. His latest novel, Dreamcatcher, hits store shelves tomorrow. It's the first King novel written entirely after the roadside accident that almost cost the author his life 2 years ago. So when I recently sat down with Stephen to talk about his new book, I first inquired about his health.
6 months to live. No, I'm kidding about that. I'm all right. I'm all right. I have a fair amount of pain in the leg, and I have to go back and get some more surgery. But I have a lot of mobility, and I'm able to walk. And I would say, on the whole, I'm the luckiest guy in the universe.
You came close to checking out, didn't you?
This close. Yeah.
How well do you remember it? I mean, do you remember it as it was happening, or is it all kind of a blur that you'd sooner forget?
I don't remember the actual impact. I remember seeing the guy come over the top of the hill, and then there's a break in the film, and then I was in the ditch, and I looked up, and there was a man sitting there. I didn't know it was the guy who'd hit me, but that's who it was, Brian Smith.
And of course, Mr. Smith is no longer with us.
No, Brian Smith died.
I'm just curious, only because you're Stephen King and you've written all this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Did the authorities come asking you questions after Brian Smith died?
Oh, you mean like, did I kill him or something?
Look, you and I both know you're not going to kill somebody, but because you've written all these things about, you know, strange events happening to people, did the authorities come see you and go,
no.
Hey, you know what, can we?
It was pretty cut and dried with Brian Smith. The autopsy report came back, but I think they knew immediately. He'd had a history of problems with chronic pain. He'd been on a lot of pain medication, and he died of a drug overdose.
Because when I saw that he had passed, immediately it crossed my mind like, you got to be kidding me. This is something out of a novel.
Yeah.
I mean, the guy hits a world's most famous novelist who writes all these horrific things, and then he dies mysteriously.
On my birthday.
Come on.
He died on my birthday, September 21st. And we have the same middle name. We're both Edwins. So.
How strange is that?
It's just like a Stephen King novel, Ryan. That's all.
Thank God there were more Stephen King novels after that. You turned your attention to Dreamcatcher. How long after the accident?
That was around about November of 1999. I was still on crutches at that time, and it was painful to work at the word processor, but I was able to work longhand at the kitchen table. I basically had a big stack of pillows that I sat on.
How long had it been since you'd written anything extensively longhand?
First of all, writing longhand was physically easier for me because of the location where I could work, but also it brought the act of writing back to this very basic level where you actually have to take something in your fist and make the letters on the page, so that instead of flying over the story, I was forced to kind of get down and be infantry again.
It's actually quite remarkable. I mean, this is the copy. This is the ledger.
That's one of them.
In which you wrote. I mean, this is really remarkable. And you did this with a Waterman fountain pen. That's actually what amazed me. I mean, yeah. I'm less amazed that you did it longhand than I am that you didn't use a roller ball or a ballpoint and instead used a fountain pen.
One night the power went out and I worked by candlelight.
Come on, that's a romantic notion.
It's true, though. It's true. The power went out and I lit the candles and wrote. It was, believe me, it was romantic. It was wonderful.
Did you find it a different kind of writing?
Yes. It slows you down. It makes you think about each word as you write it.
Is it a drawback that, unlike with a word processor, if you do this paragraph and then this one and then this one, you want to say, hey, you know what, I really want that one first, then this one, then that one. You can't rearrange it?
That never happens to me.
Come on.
No, I mean, in rewrite, I might take something out, but very rarely would I swap anything around because it's a story. Event A, event B, event C. It's the way that I work, that's all.
Do all of the books come, and I say this and it makes it sound like you don't work hard at what you do when I know you do, but did it come easy?
The words themselves have always come easily for me, probably too easily. I'm a little bit of a facile writer. I have a tendency to slide along, and sometimes I have to try something new or do something different.
So you like challenging yourself. You like doing things different, if only to keep yourself Interested, fascinated, challenged, curious?
I like to keep an edge. I'm 54 years old. If I'm lucky, I can do this another 16, 17 years. And let me tell you something. This is a great job to have. I mean, a pop group like Boyz II Men or Britney Spears, I'm not sure anybody's really going to think of Britney Spears as anything but a relic 10 years from now. But 10 years from now, she's not going to be 30 yet. Yeah. So the arc of some of those careers is short, and I've been able to do this a long time.
Do your standards change from book to book?
They get higher. They get higher. Critics might not believe it, but they do. They get higher.
Why? Because you're competing against yourself?
That's right. You set the bar a little bit higher all the time, and when you can't jump anymore, it's time to quit.
Why quit? I mean, clearly you like it.
What I'm talking about is publishing. I can't see ever stopping writing because it's a good time and I like to do it, but I can see myself stopping to publish, and not for any high-flown, highfalutin reason, but simply because it becomes embarrassing to parody yourself. I'd rather quit publishing than do that, but quit writing, I can't see that. It's too much fun.
Last quarter century or so, author Stephen King has offered fans countless tales of nail-biting terror. And his newest book, Dreamcatcher, which hits the shelves today, is another horrific tale. In describing the book, King said that he actually managed to take the horror genre into some uncharted territory.
Dreamcatcher is a book about 4 men who go hunting every year. They were boys together, they were friends when they were boys, they've grown up, they've grown apart, they have different levels of achievement, they have different ambitions, they have different problems as grown men. But every November they come back to this hunting camp in western Maine. And because I am the kind of writer that I am, I like to introduce something that's strange, that's upsetting, that's a little bit horrible, or maybe in the case of Dreamcatcher, a lot horrible, because I have to, you know, just sort of put this warning. This is a big, scary, nasty book, the way that The Stand.
But that's great. That's what your fans love.
It's hard to tell. My fans are older than they were. I don't know if they love it or not, but it's a scary book. It's a mean book in a lot of ways. And the original title of the book was Cancer. And my wife just flat out refused to. She'd just call it that book about the aliens, or that book about the guys that were hunting. The book is about aliens in the sense that it's a little bit like my version of War of the Worlds. There are creatures.
Well, let's talk about those creatures. I mean, and there's no way of us dancing around this. We'll just do it, and the editors can worry about it. The bad creatures in this are weasels.
Mm-hmm. Well, they're parasites. We can call them that. They're
that's
parasites.
Fair.
And one of the things, where the book came from for me, is I like to read, and I like to go to the movies, and I enjoy things that are scary. I like suspense. Suspense is kind of a fine emotion, but I also like the sort of thing where it kind of like gets pushed in your face and you just go, oh, that's awful. It's a childish liking, but it's mine. And I started to look around across the spectrum of books and movies, and I said to myself, what's taboo for my generation, our generation, you know, because we're the generation that talked about everything. We have TV series that are about people that are gay, people that are straight, people that are black, people are white, the whole spectrum. And I'm saying to myself, okay, we've been in the bedroom, that frontier has been crossed. We've discussed all these various sexual variations, that frontier has been crossed. What is it that's taboo? What don't we talk about? What door is still closed to popular entertainment?
The bathroom.
The bathroom door.
Excrement.
And I said to myself, as you get older, see, now I'm starting to get excited. I can even hear my voice starting to rise. I'm saying, one of the things that scares us that we don't talk about is that when you go to the bathroom, you have all these 7 warning signs of cancer. And a lot of those warning signs are detected in the bathroom with the door closed. It's the place where we go to be private, and we don't talk about what we do there, even now in polite society. But it's where the woman will do the breast examination. It's where the guy is apt to first detect something wrong with the old prostate, or worst of all, you get up from what they used to call in Victorian England the seat of ease, and you turn around and you see something in the bowl that's not supposed to be there. And I thought to myself, that's scary. And we can tell that it's scary.
It's scary at a lot of levels.
It's scary at a lot of levels. It's a very, if you will, it's a very gut-level feeling. And so I thought to myself, I want to write a story about something that's never been talked about, which has to do with that, what goes on beyond the bathroom door.
Do you want people to squirm when they read it?
I want them to squirm, fall off their seats, close the book, and then say, I can't leave it closed, and open it again.
But not the kind of book you read in the bathroom.
Well, maybe you read it in the bathroom, but I think you would probably read it with the toilet seat down.